All right, guys, it's turned out nice again. How's it going? You all right? Yeah, it's turned out nice, all right. The heat out here at the moment is ridiculous, to be honest with you. So let's get this video out of the way early morning. I have a Spanish lesson soon. Then I'm going to go out and send out my LFC email to all of you. Check in the video description below because you're missing out. Although you didn't miss out yesterday because I went to the cafe to send it out and my laptop was flat. So I was a bit of a div yesterday. So I'll be catching up on that today. Look in the video description right at the very bottom. Subscribe to the email list. It's free. You can leave it anytime. I'll never give your email address to anyone. Not even the feds. You know what I'm saying? If you've done something wrong, I'll stick up for you. I'm not a grass. Nice cup of coffee. Coffee. Do you know Shaun? We all know Shaun, right? Shaun was responsible for what was it called? Fenway We Come Not to Pay. Do you remember that? Very passionate Liverpool supporter. He was right about the owners from day one, as was I. Me and Shaun were both on the same page. This is how I got to know the lad. And he took a lot of abuse online for his opinions about the owners, and everything he said turned out to be true. Anyway, he's back on Twitter. If any of you got Twitter and would like to follow him, his username is SKB. Do you see what he did there? LFC. SKB LFC. I think that means Shaun knows best. Tag does it as well, doesn't he? Tag 2056. He does TKAF tag knows. No, TKFA tag knows fuck all. You know what I'm saying? They're all doing a little play on my DKB. You know what I'm saying, guys? Anyway, Shaun knows on Twitter. SKB LFC. And his account is locked to private on my advice. You should follow him. He's a good kid. Don't take any shit to him though, right? Because he's got zero patience. He put out a tweet earlier which I thought was great. You know, if you ever get pulled up by people for your views about the ownership or something like that, or maybe you're an overseas red, you know what I'm saying? And someone says to you, how many times have you been to Anfield or a game? He says that chestnut. He says, you should reply, I've been to Anfield more than FSG have since they bought the club. It made me laugh. I was like, yeah, that's true. That's good. And now, if you haven't been to Anfield more times, nobody knows. All right, so just say that anyway, because they can't come back at that. They can't come back at that. Shaun, well done. I like that one. So SKBLFC, if you want to follow Shaun on Twitter. I don't know if he'll hang around forever. Do you know what I mean? Because Shaun, he's passionate. He's Shaun, like. Right, what are we talking about? We are talking about Levi Colwill. A lot of you are trying to wish this signing over the line, right? You know what I mean? And I don't think there's any suggestion of that at the present time. I've seen all sorts of claims regarding this kid. Oh, he's pushing for the move to Liverpool. Liverpool are having transfer talk. I mean, first of all, transfer talks, it's such a wide description. What does that mean? Do you know what I mean? Like you phone up, you're the sporting director, you're George, yeah, at Liverpool, and you speak to his agent. Is that transfer talks? Or is it only talks when you sit and talk to the player? Or is it only talks when you speak to his club? Or is it talks when you talk internally, transfer talks, Levi Colwill? Do you know what I mean? Right? So I try to avoid people that make wide claims like that. I want to know specifics. So when someone says there's transfer talks, I say, what fucking transfer talks? What do you mean? Because it's a bit vague for me. You're sounding like an ITK on Twitter that's leaving the doors open, you know what I'm saying? So I've seen a lot of claims around Levi Colwill the last few days that I do not believe. I do not believe. I just think it's desperate Liverpool fans wanting to get a new signing, you know what I'm saying? So they believe what they see. It might change, who knows? But I think that deal would be very expensive and quite difficult to pull off. You know what I'm saying, girls? There is interest. Absolutely. Obviously. I mean, right? But it could be a tricky situation. I've also seen claims about Romeo Lavia that he's handed in a transfer request. Handing in transfer requests are one of the most rare things that happen in football when it comes to a player leaving a club. There's full-on desperation to do that. Once you hand in a transfer request, you're waiving rights to, any golden handshakes, money and all that, because you requested to leave. You requested to terminate your contract. If a club sells you, even if you want to move, but you haven't said, you haven't handed in a transfer request, right? So you're right, okay, you're Romeo Lavia. I really hope I get that move to Liverpool. Why don't you hand in a transfer request? Fuck, don't be so fucking stupid. I'm not fucking daft, am I? You know what I mean? if they accept a bid from Liverpool at any time, then, you know what I mean, you know, they're selling me, they made that decision, you know, I'm entitled to a few quid, you know what I'm saying, right? Now, if Romeo Lavia says, I'm going to hand in a transfer request, right, Southampton don't have to accept it, you know, but what they can say is, fine, well, you're not fucking getting out because you want out, all right? So when people say handed in a transfer request, when do you ever really see, I mean, you might see claims of that online, as we are doing now, Romeo Lavia, you know, right? I'm not going to go into where those claims have originated from, but I don't believe them, just saying. Now, verbally, although, yeah, look, boss, you know, I'd like to leave, is different to saying handing in a written transfer. You hand in a written transfer request and it's going to cost you financially. So just bear that in mind when you see them claims. How many transfers have you seen completed to do with Liverpool Football Club or any football club in the Premier League where they said such and such has signed after he handed in a transfer request? Not many, right? That's why. And also, what you've got to understand is you've got to have balls of steel to hand in a transfer request. Because even if you say, well, I'm going to lose out financially, the new club buying me will compensate me, my agent will make that known that I want a decent signing on fee. If you don't get your transfer that you are hoping for or your move out, you have to stay. And that means those fans are going to be looking at you going, you didn't even want to be here. You handed in a transfer request. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to win them back if you're staying. So be very cautious of anyone that says a transfer request has been handed in. Okay? That's important. So, I'm not believing at the present time these specific claims regarding Colwill, who is someone that Liverpool would like to sign. I am not believing specific claims regarding Romeo Lavia, a player that Liverpool, I think, are trying to sign. However, they have backed off a little bit at the moment as part of the, you know, like it's too expensive. You know what I'm saying? Liverpool, in my opinion, and this is an opinion shared by other people, I believe, not Liverpool doesn't believe, I believe, and it's a view shared by other people, that Liverpool have informally said to Southampton, we'll give you 35 million for Lavia. And as I've said in a previous video, I don't think that's going to interest them, and I don't think they've even entertained that idea. However, 50 million is too much, right? I would agree, I think 50 million is too much for him. But the latest suggestions are that Southampton would take 45 million. That's a 10 million difference. That's something good to work on, I think. So maybe Liverpool's like, no, we're not interested anymore. We know this is just this is bluff, right? Liverpool want to sign Lavia, right? But it's bluff. No, we're not interested anymore. All right, it's too expensive. You know what I'm saying? Right, so that's another one. So yes, Colwill is someone Liverpool would like to sign, but it could be extremely difficult to make that happen. Bear that in mind. Could happen, but right now at the present time, it doesn't sound like anything is advancing or any formal attempts to do that. Romeo Lavia, it doesn't sound like anything are advancing. No formal attempts to do that. Although I think interest absolutely definitely does remain. But I'm going to throw another one out to you. And let me just find. If you receive my LFC email updates, and I try to send one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's free. The link is in the video description below. And I will be after my Spanish lesson today, which ends at 12:30 my time, 11:30 UK. I'm going to go straight to the cafe to get a coffee and to work on that. If you subscribe to that, you'll know that I was talking about this kid last week, and that is Goncalo Inacio, okay? The Sporting Lisbon centre-back. Now, back in February, I was told that Liverpool... now, you see, I've got to be very specific now. I like to be specific with what I say. And I can't remember what I was told. I know words to the effect, but I don't want to mislead. Back in February, you'd have to read the email. Back in February, basically, right, not word for word, basically, Liverpool, I don't want to say could, because then that's starting to sound ITK, clownish. Liverpool, there's a good, I don't think it was along the lines, there's a good chance that Liverpool could make a move for this lad in the summer. That was in February. And to be honest with you, it's been a relatively quiet link. It's been lingering in the background. Inacio is the one that I am currently watching right now. All right, watching, not waiting for it to happen, not expecting for it to happen, but I personally every day am watching every single thing about this particular player because of what was said to me previously and because of the current state of play with other options. So Colwill, for example, difficult to make happen. Inacio, not so difficult. There's a release clause which is speculated around £40 million, I think. And Inacio is as Brendan Rodgers would say, fantastic player, right? So I am extremely surprised that Liverpool have not stepped up for him yet. I'll be honest with you, I'm expecting Liverpool to go for this kid. Why they're not doing that at the moment, I don't know. Is it because it is in excess of this magical £35 million figure that we're hearing with many players at the moment that were said to be interested? Now they're waiting to see what happens with the midfield options like Romeo, Lavia before they go for a defender. I think far too much weight is being put into the Colwill situation, and if anything, if anyone knows anything about weight, it's me. I think Liverpool fans and fans of all clubs, they probably don't really know much about Levi Colwill, but they fall for the hype and they get sucked in. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to the player. What I'm saying is, if you hear a name mentioned all the time, you're like Thuram. You know what I mean? Most people don't know anything about Thuram, but because they see his name, he's got to be good because Liverpool won him. You know what I mean? And then they start willing it to happen. And I think that's what's happening with the fan base at the moment with Colwill. I think for Colwill to happen, I think, there has to be some real pressure on his part to try and instigate a move away. And there have been quotes, I think these were yesterday. I'll speak to my family, speak to everyone I need to, and make a decision. I've got to play at the end of the day to hopefully get there and go to the next senior camp, because I've been on the international scene and all that recently. See, one of the things is, and I mentioned this in one of them email updates, the one that I was talking about Inacio last week, some of the players that were being linked with, centre-backs, defenders, it's not just about the valuation, it's about what they're expecting next. So like this kid, well, am I going to stay at Chelsea? Am I going to be getting any game time? Is he going to get the same situation at Liverpool? If so, why would he be up for that? Obviously he said that he was a Liverpool boyhood fan, so that's always got to help, surely. You don't just forget them things, do you? The point is, a lot of the targets that were being linked with defenders, it's not just the valuation, it's like, well, I want to go and play somewhere and be playing regular first team football. Are they guaranteed that Liverpool? Nobody should be guaranteed a place at Liverpool, ever. Other than Jordan Henderson. Sorry, I was just thinking back to my last video. So, have I touched on what I want to say? It's getting hot in here now, can you tell? Oh, gosh. Spanish lesson, 35 minutes. Right, okay. Yeah, I have. I don't believe currently the claims by Colwill, about Colwill, Lavia, at the moment. And when I say that, I'm not saying I don't believe our interest in them. I'm not trying to make things happen. I'm saying I don't believe the specific claim. When some people come to me and say, what do you think about the Colwill rumours? I always reply, which fucking one? Do you know what I mean? Because there's so many. So you've got to be specific about them. Inacio is the one that I would, I was going to say advise you keep an eye on, but then that's maybe giving you false hope. So I would rather say, I personally am watching every single thing mentioned about Inacio at the moment. I have software and things that track his name instantly if that's mentioned on various platforms around the world. I don't just mean by anyone, I mean by people that might be of interest. I'm alerted to it in real time. It's similar to Fabrizio Romano. I know he's got that set up. I've got some really good gossip about Fabrizio Romano, Not like tabloid gossip, to do with football. He hasn't done out wrong or anything like that, you know what I mean? He doesn't work for the BBC. And it's nothing to do with BBC either, you know what I'm saying? Right, what else was I going to say? Inacio, keep an eye on him. Oh, and reports in neighbouring Portugal have suggested in the last 1 to 2 days that Liverpool are considering making a move for him, and that they could make it happen if they wanted to fairly easily. Now, fairly easily, I don't know if the easily is Liverpool's opinion, or we can make it happen easily, or whether it's Sporting's opinion, as if they come for him, it could happen easily. I don't know. So that's it. Listen, maybe you don't understand any of the contents of this video. If you're new to my channel and you don't like my content, fucking don't come back. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not here to grow my YouTube channel and make people fucking happy. No. I'm here to make cups of coffee, right? While my dog is chasing the cat's ass in the background, you know what I'm saying? So we keep it real around these parts. Newcomers are very welcome, but my channel is an extension of my coptalk.com website and community, and the videos I make here are for the people that I consider my friends, all right? Inacio. I want you guys to tell me in the comment section if you have seen anything of interest regarding Inacio, because I might have missed something. But I do think that's something we should be watching. Right, okay, I'm rambling. Is there anything else I want to tell you now before I go? There was something else I wanted to talk to you about. I can't remember what it is. So we'll leave it there. If you like the video, or if you appreciate the video, please thumbs up. Please drop me a comment. That's the most important thing. I love to read your comments. And if you really appreciate my content on here, you could become a channel member. It's in the video description. Or you can press that love heart's good, guys. I've got to be honest, that love heart, it makes my day when I get one of them. I also, before I sign off, I just want to give a shout out to Jacob, who's in the Cop Talk chat room. You can join the Cop Talk chat room. It's completely free, obviously. Just go to your browser and put t.me, T is for Telegram, t.me/Cop Talk chat and /Cop Talk news. And you will be able to join our chat room on your mobile devices, your tablets, your computers or whatever. However, you will request access to that. You'll have to download some software called Telegram. It's like WhatsApp, but better. No one gets your number. You can leave. You can mute notifications or whatever. It's a very good chat room because the lads and lasses are in there talking about LFC all the time. And I would love you to join us in there. But if you do, you request access, right? But you have to email me, dunk@coptalk.com, DUNK, to say, "Hi Dunk, my name's Dave, I've requested access, can you let me in?" Because we get a lot of bots, and you don't know who's a real person and who's not. A phone call.
Reminds you of your appointment with our technician on Wednesday, July 12 at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. To confirm the appointment, say confirm or press 1. If you want to modify the appointment now, say modify or press 2. Your appointment is confirmed for tomorrow, Wednesday, July 12 at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Remember that you can manage at the web, mobile application or by...
What the fuck's that? No, it's the alarm company. They're coming to work. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, right. So yeah, you need to let me know if you're a real person or not, basically. So I want to give a shout out to Jacob. He posted in the chat at around 5 this morning, I think it was, and he said, "Just let you all know, my mum died last night, and I don't know Jay personally, and I don't need to know Jay personally." But my heart goes out to you, Jay, if you're watching this, mate. I did reply to you. I know what it's like, as do some, of the other people around these parts. There's no words. There is no words, mate. Nothing. No one can say anything to make you feel better. But what we can say, and what I can say, and I know I speak for everyone collectively, is that we've got you. I know we don't know each other personally, but you can email me at any time privately if you want to talk. I've been in this situation. I can give you advice. Just J, Y, N, W, A, mate, Also, Matthew Beale is going through a very difficult time at the moment. His very young daughter, Emily, has just been diagnosed with leukemia. And again, you know, these are not just usernames, these are real people. Matthew, I know a little bit because he plays on the Xbox with me sometimes, you know, the group thing and shit. We're with you guys, you know what I mean? And I don't handle things like this very well. I'm a very deep person, and there's been conversations taking part in the group chats about these things, especially Matthew, because that's been we've known about that a little bit longer, but I haven't really said much about it all because I can't dwell on it because it'll just fuck me up and I'm useless. But Matthew knows I've got his back, and the Cop Talk community in general has got his back, and Jay as well. We're always here for you guys. It was said to me many years ago when my mum was dying, you'll never walk alone, Dunk. It's not a slogan, it's a way of life. And it's very true, guys. So you guys must understand that you can reach out to us in the comments on this video, in the chat room, you can email me. We will always be there for you. And Jay, I'm sure your mum was very proud of you. Matthew, we'll keep our fingers crossed for the treatment, the chemo and everything that's about to start. And we've got you guys, all right? Speak to you soon, guys.